With aerodynamic lines, a luxurious interior, and a powerful engine, what feeling do you get when driving the Jaguar F-Type? All of them. An exhilarating combination of design and performance makes the F-Type like no other sports car in the world. Learn more at JaguarUSA.com.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Is that Shakespeare?
Nope, it's Geico.
Yeah, that's Shakespeare from one of his unpublished works. Oh, it be not for awakening. Nay, giveth thou the berries. For 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Nope, it's from Geico, because they help save people money.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but Geico got it from Shakespeare.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Hello and welcome. It's hour number three of the Ben Maller Show as we are back at it again, the NBA grapevine of chatter. And what do we make of rumors that have Ben Simmons being pursued by the Minnesota Timberwolves? Now, these rumors have popped up recently. More reports indicating that Minnesota badly wants Ben Simmons. Would that be a good fit if Ben Simmons were traded to Basketball Siberia? We'll take a look at that and more. It's coming your way right now in hour number three. It is time to crank up the trade machine. Welcome in the beginning of another hour of the Ben Maller Show. We are in the air everywhere as we squeal like a pig, coast to coast, border to border, and beyond on the vast and powerful microphones of FSR, emanating live from behind the wheel. We drive in the fast lane here, the Fox Sports Radio studios. Good to have you hanging out with us as we chatter the night away. And our lead this hour comes from the gossip mill of the NBA. I'm not going to go back and point out how embarrassing the Suns were. It's shocking how little reaction we've gotten out of the state of Arizona. We're on a big radio station in Phoenix and all over the place, and the Suns fans can't believe they don't want to talk. Interesting. So the playoffs continuing and the off-season chatter, though, picking up some rat-a-tat-tat to it. People getting excited about the transaction. What's going to happen next? Who's going to go where in the game of musical chairs? Much of it centers around the immediate future of Ben Simmons, the much maligned, he earned it, 76ers guard who is expected to be dumped, exiting stage right from Philadelphia. Now, have you heard the latest on this? Have you been following along? Maybe not. We are told that the team that is most interested over the last 10 days or so continues to be, at this moment, the Timber Puffs, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And yeah, that's right. There's been a growing drumbeat that Minnesota is thirsty for some Ben Simmons, that the word being used is that they badly want him. That's a great, we use the word badly, which is appropriate because Ben Simmons is bad. He's bad late in games, but they want that Aussie guard. Now, Philadelphia is playing coy about the whole thing and implying that they very well could keep Ben Simmons around. We expect many more teams to be connected to Simmons, so if you're tired of this story already, buckle up because it's going to be a name that continues to be tossed around right through the NBA draft, assuming no trade happens. Now, regardless, for the purposes of this moment in time, in this particular Maller monologue, let's assume the position that this is not a bullcrap story, that it's actually got some legs to it, and that the Timberwolves are desperate to get Ben Simmons. That's what the NBA grapevine is saying, so we'll go with it. It's interesting. So let us discuss the question, what do you make of a love connection between Ben Simmons and the Timberwolves this offseason? So my views on this, you've got batteries, palace intrigue, and Gene Rayburn. And we will connect all of these things together. Now, first of all, Ben Simmons is going to decide where Ben Simmons goes. Now, he's not going to decide whether he stays in Philadelphia or not because that door is closed. They're not going to forgive Ben Simmons. They don't forgive sins. You can't just go to confessional in Philly and come back out. No. So he's done with the Sixers. But the NBA business model is that if you're going to get rid of a player like Ben Simmons, who's got a massive contract, it's a you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back situation. Because on the surface, it is a humdinger of a stretch to think that Ben Simmons would sign off on wanting to play in Minnesota. You know that. I know that. Every man, woman, and child knows that the Timberwolves are off the grid in the basketball world. We'll call a spade a spade. They've had talent. They keep getting lottery picks, high picks, blue chip talent. It doesn't work. Ben Simmons, even though he seems to run away from the attention, at the same time, it's the old double-edged sword because he hates it and he loves it and he craves it at the same time. And even with his numerous issues at the end of games, he still demands the attention. Remember, this is a guy that dated a Kardashian. You don't date a Kardashian if you're an introvert. You don't do that. In Minnesota, in that environment, in that part of the NBA world there is no spotlight. It doesn't exist. What Minnesota offers for their NBA franchise is a flashlight with batteries that are dying. And the flashlight is flickering. It's flickering. That's it. There's no spotlight. It's a culture shock. It's the old fish out of water. It's hard to be a fish out of water in Minnesota. It's the land of 10,000 lakes. But you talk about a loss of identity. And for a guy like Ben Simmons, depression, instant depression. And he's already got issues. He'd add even more. He'd be angrier and irritable and all that. But longing for the old days. Philadelphia, and they're not going to win anything with Doc Rivers, but that is a town obsessed with their professional sports, and their basketball team is included in that, not as much as their football team. It's an Eagles town, and the Sixers are back down the list and all that, but the watchdog media breathing down your neck. If Ben Simmons were to sign off on a trade in this hypothetical world and go to the Timberwolves, he would be an afterthought. And he would have, though, the Juicy Lucy, the delicious Juicy Lucy, which is a staple of the culinary arts in the Twin Cities. And we learned not that long ago that in St. Paul, they have the salted nut roll, which is a wonderful candy bar. And that comes out of St. Paul. So he'd be right near the factory where they make those. So he'd eat a lot of Juicy Lucy's and a lot of salted nut rolls. And that's where the positives stop. Now, secondly, we should never spend too much time talking about the Timberwolves, especially not when the NBA playoffs are going on, because they don't make the playoffs very much. The Timberwolves have had a turnstile in the front office and the coaching ranks over the years. Now, one of the reasons that people are connecting the dots with Ben Simmons and Minnesota is the general manager of the Timberwolves is a disciple of Daryl Morey, who's in Philadelphia. So they say, well, it's one of those deals. They know each other. It's a cabal, if you will. They all know each other. And so it's like a bus station, though, the Timberwolves. They've had the raw ingredients where if you say just based on talent and scouting report, that's a team that should make some noise. Karl Anthony Towns is a very good fantasy basketball player. Anthony Edwards put together a very nice sizzle reel of dunks. And those are exciting players. They're not winning players. They're exciting players. Ben Simmons being tossed into the mix would look nice to the untrained eye. But it's one of those things that sounds better in theory than in execution. Here's the other thing about the Timberwolves. There's so much palace intrigue that goes on. The squabbling among the bad apples. That's a franchise that needs an intervention. Now, what is my evidence? Remember when Jimmy Butler did a tour of duty not that long ago there, and the Butler was fuming. He was irate when he was exposed to the follies of that franchise, the lack of intestinal fortitude. That's a team without guts. Now, I know some of the players have changed since Jimmy Butler was there, but he was so dismayed by the culture of the Timberwolves, the lack of professionalism in Minnesota, after determining that it was unfixable, that there was no solution. It was broken at its core. He then had a hissy fit, skedaddle out of town. And those same underlying conditions, again, some of the names have changed. Andrew Wiggins isn't there, but the issues are still around and lingering, and they would be there with Ben Simmons. And if your goal is to win daily fantasy basketball, you would want Ben Simmons and Karl Anthony Towns in your bunker. I'm sure Ben Simmons statistically would be great, but anything more than that, and you kindly would reject it. Now, final thought. The key to making a trade, from years and years and years of keeping an eye on this, the key to making a trade in the NBA is who you know and everyone being on the same page, right? They need to get a Ouija board out and channel game show host Gene Rayburn, the late Gene Rayburn, because we're talking about the match game, right? Star player has to accept the new trade. Will Ben Simmons, if Minnesota wanted him, would he accept the trade? That's questionable. Would the team trading for the star player have enough inventory to trade to get the player? That is certainly likely. Minnesota can just trade first-round picks, and they have a bunch of first-round picks on the roster, so they could trade some of those players. But also the team giving up the star player has to be satisfied with what's coming back inbound, and that is highly unlikely. Right? Even with addition by subtraction, the Timberwolves would be looking to trade D'Angelo Russell. We talked about this a few weeks ago. D'Angelo Russell to the Sixers in this hypothetical fairy tale type trade. And the salaries match up, but that's where the good times end. If you look at D'Angelo Russell, while he is not gun shy, he's not passive, he's willing to shoot the ball in the fourth quarter of games. You could run the pick and roll with Joel Embiid and D'Angelo Russell and have some level of success. The problem is that he's D'Angelo Russell. He's not an elite playmaker. You will be able to have a guy on your team that will shoot the ball, and he's not a playmaker. He's not going to pass the ball that much, but he can't create his own shot. Certainly, you would imagine late in the games, in playoff games, if you had on the court Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and D'Angelo Russell, whoo! Now, D'Angelo also brings the Matador defense with him. He's not a big enough name for Daryl Morey. The one thing that gives this a little bit of life is that Daryl Morey's former assistant GM from the Rockettes is in Minnesota. So you say there's a chance, there's a possibility that something could be brewing. All right, it is the Ben Maller Show. If you want to be part, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. You can join the festivities here in the Magic Radio Box as we chop down the overnight hours away and away and away and away. So, a well-known athlete in the United States was ridiculed and mocked so much that this player has made a mass exodus and is leaving the country and has already left the country. We'll get to that, and we will do it next.
Be sure to catch live editions of the Ben Maller Show weekdays at 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeartRadio app.
Good afternoon. Would you like to try a free sample of our double fudge brownie?
Oh, sure. That's very good. I'll just take one more, just to be sure. Yep, still very good.
Some things never change, like never being able to take just one free sample. And Geico saving folks lots of money on their car insurance.
Is that macadamia nut I taste? Let me take one more.
Sir.
Yeah, I thought so.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our 4th of July special. The new Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed is only $8.99. Plus free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
1, 2. Well, another game is over. Eddie wins again. It really doesn't look too good for the one they call Big Ben.
We believe in the power of the people and the Maller Militia. Get the most out of the Ben Maller Show listening experience by adding your touch. Take a few seconds to follow your host on Twitter. He's at Ben Maller. And you can tweet at and follow our technical producer. He plays all the music, like this wonderful song by Raz and many others.
It's actually outdated. They should update the song because I gotta tell you have not been doing that well here recently. Rather embarrassing.
Yeah. His first name is Roberto. His last name is Flores. You can follow him at Raider_Rob24.
Roberto, knock it off already! God!
And now live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, it's Ben Maller.
So I got another email a few minutes ago from a guy, Mike, in Minnesota, and he's like, hey, can I do the oath? You don't have to ask for permission. I don't know how many times I have to say it. If you want to do the oath, call up and we'll put you on and you can do the oath. That's it. You don't need to email me and can I do the oath? No, I don't care. If you want to do it, that's great, but that's it. And I'm not writing back to you. Alf, the alien opiner from Springfield, Massachusetts, just down the street from the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame where Muffet McGraw is enshrined. Alf says, tread lightly, my friend. Your monologues seem bouncier than normal. People will be triggered. It has been a heavy NBA show, but we will steer away from the NBA when we go further and further into the night. Raz, the guy whose song we just played, says, a Timberwolves monologue color me stunned. But if acquiring Ben Simmons will handcuff the Wolves for years to come, miring them in mediocrity, bank on it. They will get it done. C+. James the Machinist, who also lives in the Twin Cities, is triggered. He says that gets an F-. How dare you repeat that rumor? They're basically unwatchable as it is, talking about the Timberwolves, and they were going to add a bum like Ben Simmons. No, hell no. If they trade anything more than a bag of peanuts for that choke artist, they might as well move the team immediately. Well, A-Rod's working on that, assuming A-Rod gets ownership of the team, if that actually goes through, and they go forward with that. So we began the hour talking about Ben Simmons here, and Ben Simmons is actually the player who has been taking so much crapola, he has left the country. Ben Simmons, after Philadelphia eliminated, now he didn't go back to Australia. He's been spotted by the paparazzo in London. Why would Ben Simmons be in London? What is going on? Well, apparently he headed straight to London following the Sixers' elimination from the postseason, much because of Ben Simmons' incompetence there. And according to the tabloids in London, Ben Simmons is dating a young lady. He was spotted at dinner at some highfalutin restaurant in the United Kingdom there, chowing down. I don't know who this is. Do you know who? I'm not really up on my Hollywood. I don't know if she's an actress or not. Maya, it's Jama is the last name. You know who that is? Roberto, Coop, Eddie, anybody? No. I don't know who that is either. Is she like an Instagram model or something like that?
I just looked her up. I've never seen her before.
Let me check. Hold on, let me look her up. Hold on a sec here. See what we're dealing with. It says British television and radio presenter. Currently hosts BBC One show on BBC. How the hell does she end up with Ben Simmons? What's going on with that? I don't know.
Guess he watches some British television.
Big fan of the BBC? He should watch.
She is.
Well, he should watch NBA TV is what he should watch to learn how to make foul shots at the end of those games. Yeah. Also, I saw Ben Simmons. He's opted not to play for Australia. Did you see that? The 2021 Tokyo Olympics, which are like next month.
Yeah, he needs to practice on stuff.
Yeah. No, apparently he doesn't need to practice. Apparently he's decided to go watch the BBC in London and hang out there and do his thing. All right, let's go to the phones. And who do we have? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Pick a caller by their name. Let's say hello to, let's see here. Let's go to John in Tacoma. Hello, John.
Ben, hey, my prediction for Game 6 of the Clippers-Suns.
1 second left to go in the game. Suns up by 1. Playoff P goes for the winning three-pointer, is fouled and misses. He goes to the free throw line. He needs 2 to win, 1 to tie. And playoff P turns catatonic and turns into playoff urinate and misses all 3. Suns win. Ben, those two of the losses that the Clippers suffered is because of playoff urinate. They need to trade his ass.
Is that all you got, John? Is that it, John? Anything else you want to say, or is that okay? Thank you. Let's go to JD in Kansas City. What's going on, JD?
Come on, Big Ben.
Welcome.
Man, old dude's pretty garbage, man. He needs Ben Simmons is straight garbage, almost as garbage as Kansas City, Kansas. So, I don't know where Beer Drinking Brian and Half Pint stay. Hopefully it's on the Missouri side, because when you talk about Kansas City, 99.9% of the time you're referring to the Missouri side, never the Kansas side.
Well, I got to tell you, when I was hold on a second, JD. I know you're spitting loogies over at the Kansas City, Kansas side, but when I went to Kansas City, I got a cheaper hotel room staying in Kansas City, Kansas. I saved a couple of bucks staying on that side of the train tracks.
There you go. That's all you had to say, man, because it's garbage over there. They're like the dirty little cousin that lives down the street. Nobody wants to go to Kansas City, Kansas. They got nothing over there. All they got is the racetrack and the soccer team. That's all they got. So, it is what it is. So I don't know exactly where Beer Drinking Brian and Half Pint stay. You guys might not have asked them to see if they're on the Missouri side, because, it's...
You would be very upset, though, if they're on the Missouri side. This would bother you greatly if they announced that they're on the Missouri side.
No.
This would offend
I would love
you.
them to be on the Missouri side. I love me some Beer Drinking Brian and Half Pint. What are you talking about? They're legends.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, but they are legends on our show, in our little world. What are you doing right now? You driving around, JD? You working?
Yes, sir. I'm out here picking up the grease still. It's been a while since I called you.
You're the grease man.
Yeah. I'm still out here picking up grease. I'm driving through Liberty, Missouri right now. Actually, I just passed where you got your Mallard.
That's right.
What was that over
Have you had the Mallard?
right.
No, the Mallard chicken fingers. Come on, there should be a shrine there. They have the Ben Mallard chicken fingers in Liberty, Missouri, which is, as you know, JD, a short drive away from where the Chiefs and the Royals play. It's not that far away there. It's just down the road. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, man, I just wanted to call and check in, man. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right, go away, JD. Big fan of Kansas City, Kansas. Big fan. It doesn't sound like JD's eating the Ben Mallard chicken fingers. This is a bad job by you. I mean, you're in the city right there. You're where it's located, and you can't enjoy the show. I mean, come on. What are you doing there? It's the Landing Eatery and Pub, by the way, in Liberty, Missouri, the home of the Ben Mallard chicken finger basket, which is a large portion of chicken tenders. They were big mound of French fries. Boy, is that good. I understand Beer Drinking Brian is called back. Let's get to the bottom of this right now. Let's go down to Beer Drinking Brian, who is back on the Ben Mallard Show. Hello, Beer Drinking Brian.
Ben, I just woke up. I'm yelling for Half Pint, and then the dogs are yelling at me saying, well, she's not here. And, it's not good.
So first of all, first things first here, we just took a call from JD in Kansas City who he wants to know, are you on the Kansas side or on the Missouri side?
Missouri side.
You're on the there you go, JD. There you go. You trashed Kansas City, Kansas. But my man, Beer Drinking Brian, lives on the Missouri side. So let's get to the bottom of this. I want you to walk me through what happened. So Half Pint had a court date, right?
Yes.
She didn't go to the court date?
No, she did.
She did.
But I woke her up at 8:30 this morning. Her court was at 10.
Yeah.
And she left here at like 9:55 on her damn tractor.
Wait, hold, time out. So she has a court date. She has to be there at 10. She leaves the house at 9:55. The courthouse is across the street, yes?
Well, it's about a 5-minute walk.
All right, so she's on a tractor, so she should be able to get. Now, do they allow tractors to be parked at the courthouse?
No, so I'm not even sure if it's where no one knows where it's at right now because
So there's a missing.
I haven't been able to talk to her.
There's a missing tractor in the greater Kansas City area.
Yes, there is. Because I don't know where she parked it, and they won't let me talk to her right now. And it's kind of serious, man. She's $15,000 cash over.
Wait, so to get her out, we gotta raise $15,000.
I guess from what I'm hearing. I mean,
So she's gonna be in there until her time is up. Yes.
Well, I'm guessing we're not getting married on the 23rd.
Whoa! Yeah, that's
how long is she supposed to be in now?
He doesn't know. He hasn't been able to talk to her.
I don't know. I don't have $15,000 to throw. So her next court date is July 7th. So she's gonna be in there at least till July 7th, and
yeah. But are you sure you're sure this is what happened? I mean, you haven't talked to her, but did somebody call you and say, hey, she got put in the jail and all that? Yeah.
Well, there's a thing called CaseNet here in Missouri, and by the time 3 o'clock rolled around and she went to court at 10 o'clock, I started worrying, so I started checking it out online, and she showed up late. Now, what I'm confused about is she showed up late, and then it said that she had to do a UA, which is a drug analysis thing. Yeah. But it doesn't say she passed or failed, and I called her PO twice, and he never called me back. So, I mean, if she passed that, I don't think that she should have to. I mean,
by the way, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to our live exclusive breaking news coverage here. Half Pint, radio caller Half Pint to the Ben Maller Show. Currently incarcerated. There's a missing, not John Deere. What kind of tractor is it? She calls it the John Deere, but it's not a John Deere. But so have you thought about maybe walking down to the courthouse to see if you could find the tractor? Not that you have a key to it.
We tried to today. Yeah, we tried to today, and we couldn't find it. So I don't know where she parked. I don't know.
Now,
it's
is there
like
a possibility?
Breaking Howard James out when you go to Minneapolis. I don't know. I'm not sure where we're at.
Hold on a sec. Calm down here. So, is there a possibility the tractor was impounded? And if it was impounded, is there any chance you will actually spend the money to get the tractor out?
No.
No. So the tractor will be gone. Do you need anything from our show? Do you need any help? Can we help you in any way? We're not going to raise $15,000, but do you need any help? Can we assist you in any way?
I want to get the tractor back because I paid $400 for that not too long ago.
That's a high-end tractor, a $400 tractor. Can Koopa Loop help out? Some of the listeners were saying that we could fly Coop in and he could be the attorney. He doesn't have he's not past the bar, but he could pretend he'd be like the interpreter of Half Pint.
But you know what? And we would actually meet him, unlike somebody else that did.
Well, be careful because that weasel in Miami said that he was going to meet him too, and he never showed up. So.
We'll see where that.
All right. Well, listen. We wish you well. Are you going to be able to live without Half Pint?
You
guys
could go and see her in the drunk tank. Well, not the drunk. Whatever that. No, she's in county jail.
All right, calm down. So beer drinking, Brian, you're going to be okay here. I mean, this is your other half here. You two are the amazing couple.
I'm freaking out. I just woke up.
Okay.
Coop said I fell asleep, and I was calling for Half Pint's name.
Yeah. Okay, hold on a sec. We might go back. Hold on, Half Pint. We'll check in later, see how you're doing. But that's the big breaking news story. Nobody else has this story. None of our competitors have it. Nobody else has it. They don't want it. They don't have it. We have it. It's our show. Breaking the news. Tweet that out, Koopa Loop. Half Pint has been arrested. We should have a Ben Maller Show caller book him, is what we should have.
Be sure to catch live editions of the Ben Maller Show weekdays at 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, three-time Pro Bowler LeVar Arrington, and I couldn't be more excited to announce a new podcast called Up on Game. What is Up on Game, you ask? along with my fellow Pro Bowler, TJ Hushmanzada, and Super Bowl champion, yep, that's right, Plexico Burress. You can only name a show with that type of talent on it. Up on Game. We're going to be sharing our real-life experiences loaded with teachable moments. Listen to Up on Game with me, LeVar Arrington, TJ Hushmanzada, and Plexico Burress on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
This episode is brought to you by HP Plus. In a world full of smart devices, shouldn't your printer be smart too? It is with HP Plus. These printers know when they're running low, so you always get the ink you need delivered right when you need it. Plus, you save up to 50% on ink, so you can print whatever you want, as much as you want, anytime you want. Huh, that is pretty smart. Get 6 free months of instant ink when you choose HP Plus. Conditions apply. Visit hp.com/smart for details.
This episode is brought to you by the NBA. Witness mind-bending competition on the biggest stage between the best players in the world, a place where legends are made. It's impossible jumps that seem to freeze in midair, and spectacular steals that you didn't see coming. It's that one play that lasts seconds that you will talk about for the rest of your life. And let's face it, it's the unpredictability of it all, never knowing when the next big moment will happen. Huge wins and crushed dreams. It's the drama of it all. You just can't make this stuff up. That's the NBA. That's game. The NBA playoffs are happening right now. Don't miss all the action.
I bet I saw this and I was really stunned by it. This out of the Pro Football Hall of Fame there in Canton, Ohio, where John Facenda has won the Pete Rozelle Radio and Television Award, so he will be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, if you don't know the
voice
name,
of God.
Yeah, if you don't know the name, he was the narrator of NFL films for decades. He was a former TV guy out of Philadelphia. He passed away back in 1984. I was stunned
the greatness of the Raiders
that he wasn't already in the Hall of Fame. But now Ben does a very passable John Facenda, but there's nothing like the original.
No, the original's amazing.
So let's go.
Okay, here we go.
To the audio tape and hear the voice of God.
The autumn wind is a pirate.
John Facenda.
Blustering in from sea, with a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, first of all, it's a joke that he wasn't already in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's always kind of ridiculous when they put these guys in when they're dead. You know, he was amazing.
Died.
Yeah, 37 years after he's dead. That's the first. And secondly, old guys like us, Eddie, before cable television, the internet, the way we fell in love with football, I think for both of us, a lot of it was NFL films.
Without question.
The highlights that they had on the Monday night games, and also, but just the videos. I wasn't playing high school football back Al Bundy back in my day. They used to fire us up. They would show NFL film vignettes for different teams to get us fired up for games. It was a big deal. And John Facenda was a part of that. And then Harry Callis after Facenda, he did it for a while. But there you go. Hall of Famer.
Well-deserved and long overdue.
Yeah. I got to tell you, though, my impersonation was not bad.
It's not bad.
It was a cheap rip-off version, but I did the autumn wind just like John Facenda without
That's why I picked it.
Pirate blustering in from sea, with a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head and a bristling black mustache.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a cheap rip-off overnight guy.
He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold.
I nailed that line.
And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you around and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
I ruined it there at the end. But,
Got a little exaggerated. But
I got a little. Yeah.
Not bad.
No, I haven't smoked cigarettes for 50 years like John Facenda did to get that voice.
Got to have that voice.
Got to have that nicotine voice.
Now, Maller's Mountain of Money.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
Do you have what it takes to get to the top? Probably not.
And here we go. It's Maller's Mountain of Money. Let's introduce our contestants, and then we'll have a full game on the other side. As it is Maller's Mountain of Money. On our contestants, we have, a matchup of young whippersnappers. Mason the Millennial is going to play. Hello, Mason the Millennial.
Hello, Ben Maller. I don't think Emmett's a valid Victorian like he claims to be. So I'm calling him out. And
Are you on Bluetooth, Mason?
I feel like you're big-timing the show here, Mason the Millennial.
Come on, man. Sounds terrible.
Bro, I'm at
we're
work.
on.
Take me off then.
Well, does he not want to play
I'm
the
at
game?
work.
All right. Well, we'll get somebody else. All right. Thank you, Mason. I mean, we can't. We're working too. We're
Sounds
too.
awful, yeah.
The only thing we only have audio. We have no photos. My God. So now Coop's going to have to scramble to find somebody else. We have Blind Emmett, though, the Seahawk fan. Hello, Blind Emmett.
What's up, Ben? How are you doing?
What's going on, Emmett?
Honestly, just kind of playing video games with my friends and decided, Mason called me out, and I, decided, all right, I got to come take this dude, but I guess I'll take whoever is coming in the ring next.
All right. Who do you want to partner up with, Emmett? Who do you want to?
Let's go with the man on the ones and twos, Roberto.
Roberto, all right. Very good. And we have Paul in Maine. Hello, Paul.
Hey, Ben. How's it going?
Paul's my ringer. You're putting
I wish this is not good. It's not.
No, this is a great matchup.
No,
this is a dominating matchup. This is great. Listen, don't count out Blind Emmett. All right, Blind Emmett's good. Paul, are you ready to go here, Paul? You're a dominator. This is right in your wheelhouse. Does your wife listen? Does she know how amazing you are at this game?
No, I don't.
She doesn't listen? She doesn't realize it? All right. All right, well, Paul, listen. Who do you want to partner up with, Paul? Roberto's been taken.
All right. Let's keep the streak going, Ben. I'm going to take you.
All right, let's do it here. And very exciting. What is the game here,
I think it should be Roberto, Emmett, and I against you and Paul.
No, that's incorrect.
Are you giving some old heads or something, too? Come on.
I think that's a little more fair.
No, listen, you don't trust the young guy. Listen, let me tell you, this guy, Emmett, is sneaky good. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. This guy's he's sharp.
Yeah, but
Emmett's
Paul,
sharp.
Paul owned the game last week. Whatever. All right.
And the week before that.
Look at Paul.
Why do we
He's
keep putting this
bragging.
man's on?
Very braggadocious. Yeah. All right. We'll see how it goes.
Buddy couldn't
you're wasting time. Because Mason, you put Mason the Millennial on, and Mason, he's making Teslas, and he couldn't be bothered to pick up the phone.
He talked all that trash for his connection to be bad.
Well, his connection was fine if he wasn't on Bluetooth. But anyway, all right, we're wasting time here. What is the game here, Cool, please?
This is the Kathy Bates edition. She turned 73 years old yesterday. Yeah. The categories are high stakes, misery, men don't leave, and Titanic. Emmett, you were on first. Which category would you like?
Let's go men don't leave.
All right. And Paul, how about you?
My favorite movie, Titanic.
Titanic, which is wonderful. All right, those are the categories. Everyone stay on hold. Emmett, Paul, you guys hang on, and we will have Maller's Mountain of Money. I'm sure this will be a very competitive game. We'll get to it, and we will do it next.
Fox Sports Radio has the best sports talk lineup in the nation. Catch all of our shows at foxsportsradio.com. And within the iHeartRadio app, search FSR to listen live.
And right to the game we go. Let's not dilly-dally. We're not going to waste any time. Here we go. It is time now for Maller's Mountain of Money, the matchup. Emmett is going with Roberto, and myself, Ben, and Paul. Emmett is in Washington. Paul is in Maine. So across the country we go, and we'll start with Emmett and Roberto. The category you picked were Men Don't Leave, right, Cooper?
Yes, that is correct.
Kathy Bates edition?
Yes, these athletes spent their entire career in their home state. That's like high school, college, they stayed there. First and last name, 45 seconds,
All
begin.
Right.
All right, greatest first baseman of all time. Disease named after him.
Pass.
Oh,
Oh, my God. Mr. Padre, right fielder for the San Diego Padres. Never left the state of California.
Fernando Tatis.
Oh,
Senior.
my God.
Legendary coach of the Chicago Bears. Won the Super Bowl for the Bears. Was a great tight end for them.
Pass.
Hang up on this guy.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're not done. You're not done.
Oh, no, they're done.
Wow.
They're done.
Catcher
All right.
for the Minnesota Twins. The 2000, six-time All-Star. State of Minnesota, obviously.
He wasn't even alive when that guy played. No, all right. Well, that didn't go as well as I was hoping.
I dropped him.
All right. Sorry, Emmett, but we'll get a ringer in.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in how about another Paul?
Well, we have Paul's. No, we have Paul here.
No, we have
Paul.
we have another Paul. We have Paul from Paul from Minneapolis.
No, but we're going to go right now. Me and Paul are going to go.
Well, yes, I know, but
yeah,
for,
here we go.
for
all right, quickly.
All right, Paul in Maine. You guys have Titanic. These athletes were on a juggernaut that hit an iceberg. Were upset by somebody.
Okay.
45 seconds begin.
All right, quarterback for the greatest show on turf, the St. Louis Rams.
Kurt Warner.
Vikings wide receiver was on the undefeated Patriots. That
Randy
lost. Yes. The dream for the Rockets in the
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yes. The big redhead from UCLA and with the Celtics.
Bill Walton.
Yes. A guard for UNLV, played with the Knickerbockers, was arrested with a prostitute.
Pass.
All right. Yankee slugger broke Babe Ruth's record for home runs with an asterisk.
Roger Maris.
Yes. Big Smooth, NBA player for the Mavericks in the 80s, the Lakers and Sonics in the 90s. He always looked high. He was
Sam Perkins.
Yeah, good job by you. All right, guard from UNLV is on CBS as a... all right. He was on
Greg
CBS.
Anthony.
Yeah.
280. All right, Paul.
That's all right, 280.
Paul from
280
Minneapolis,
nothing.
are you there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Paul from Minneapolis, would you like high stakes or misery?
Let's go high stakes. We need it.
All right. These athletes played in a ridiculous amount of playoff games. 45 seconds on the clock. Begin.
This guy was a kicker for the Eagles with Terrell Owens. With the Eagles.
A kicker?
Yeah, for the 49ers.
Jason Myers? Or
David Akers?
David Akers.
Well, no, Eddie.
David
No,
Akers.
that doesn't count. Eddie just cheated. That does not count.
This guy was a player for the Atlanta Braves. Then he got traded to the Yankees, played for the Oakland A's. Married to
During what era?
Married to Holly Berry, 2000s.
Chipper Jones?
David Justice.
Oh, you guys, Roberto, what's going on here? Yeah, I mean, jeez. Roberto gave up. Paul, you're so good. We only needed one round, and we beat both competitors. We shut them out.
Wow, that's terrible. That is awful.
That's embarrassing, but that's a great job by you, Paul. You get another golden ticket. Can anyone beat you, Paul? You're invincible. I think we should just have you back every week till we find somebody that can knock you out. You own this game.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, no, you've done it. You've already done it, and listen.
He needs to go up against me. Anybody that wants to actually beat Paul, call and pick me as your teammate.
Okay, look how that Coop's all braggadocious, pumping his chest out and all that.
I have more wins than anyone, Coop. What are you
How
talking
about Eddie
about?
trying to cheat?
The board.
Eddie, another win for me, Eddie. Another win for me.
Another win for me.
Paul, that's right.
I got two more right than those two dingleberries.
Eddie, just take the L, Eddie.
What are
They
you
didn't
talking about?
pick you,
They
Eddie.
didn't even play.
Two guys didn't pick
They
you.
should have.
Yeah.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
QAnon is now the most prolific online conspiracy theory of the 21st century. None of their predictions came true, Q has vanished, and the storm never came. But QAnon is very much still alive. Join me, Jake Hanrahan, for Season 2 of Q Clearance. we'll be documenting how QAnon has evolved. Listen to Q Clearance on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.